This is a demo of using Minecraft as a supplement to regular D&D adventure games. We're using it as a map, so there was a lot of energy that went into creating this world in just the Pocket Creative version. It starts out with a little cloud platform made of wool. It's the only material that could resemble that. And then there's a central pillar that served as the god of this realm's touchstone and the place where everybody starts. I managed to get 6 different buildings, rooms in this small city. That's the only city in the realm because it took so long to do. But there are other places throughout this world where there are dungeons and little tree houses and mazes where other creatures are. The water is a big draw in here. It was immediately apparent that something interesting was going on here to the players. And in this case, the water prevents you from going back out. It's not easy to do, so you have to go forward. And you'll find these underground tunnels and secret doors that might have treasure chests or other symbols around them, and then tunnels that will lead back to the surface at some point. The way this story was fit into a regular D&D adventure was right in the middle of a battle. Actually, a god swept them away to this land and asked for their help in retrieving 5 gems of a necklace that will help the god to reclaim power. You'll notice some floating sheep and cows out in the water. They're the only creatures that I can add, and they wander quite a bit. In fact, they've fallen into some of these water traps and shown up in very strange places. This is actually my favorite part of the entire world. I just kept digging further and further down until taking wherever the water pushed me, until I got to a point where we can stop at the edge and build something to allow them to re-escape to the surface. Throughout the land there's chests that act as treasure areas, and so they're very clearly identified from the kids who are used to playing Minecraft that there's something there, so they'll stop, and sometimes they're easy to get into, sometimes they're not. They'll generally have something of use to help them in this adventure, as well as gold. There are actually 5 major villains or threats in this world, as well as a few allies. We won't go through all of them here, just give you a sort of a bird's eye view. There are some potions and some scrolls and other elements, magical elements, that allow people to fly for a very short period of time, but it's generally discouraged to get this kind of view. They're landlocked and they have to explore everything from that perspective. One of the challenges to using Minecraft in this way is that if you're used to playing Minecraft and fighting off creepers in real time, those are rules that don't work well in a D&D campaign where you want more control and player roles and other interactions. So in this case, the creative comes in handy in that you're not randomly being attacked and have to defend within this world. But it's also a very fragile world. It's very easy to destroy things that are not meant to be destroyed. One of the ways around that is with Creative, I can launch it on my own phone, invite an iPad or some other means that we're broadcasting on a larger screen to join, and then disconnect, and it preserves the world. So if somebody does mess things up, it's not going to be a permanent damage. Where some of the dungeons are quite obvious, the structures are visible or the opening is visible. This one's a little more hidden and hard to get to. This is the only entrance. It goes all the way down as far as you can into the Minecraft universe, and where there's a chamber at the end. So this is the only way to find it. There have been some hiccups along the way in terms of display and control and accidental damage to the world. But the kids who are involved are very excited to be able to, at the end of the game and the adventure, come back into this world and just explore at their own pace with their own machines. So that part of it has been a hit. In addition to Minecraft, I've also had Google Docs that allow me to take my notes and share them into an adventure log for the kids. You'll also notice that there are some seeds that are in hand rather than a block or some type of building material that prevents accidental damage to the world. But there's also some places where you have to interact with it as part of finding a hidden chamber, and as you'll see in a moment, there are some dangers if you get too rambunctious with what you're destroying. Overall, this has been a very positive addition to our gaming sessions. The kids pay attention very closely and are anxious to come back for future sessions.